I gave you $150 million, and I'm looking at 2026 for the Atlanta Braves, if I ask you to spend it wisely, let's say I got Marcell Ozuna coming off the books, I got other things that are happening, I might do something now, go see Marcell Ozuna. They brought up another catcher, which just basically tells you they have been living in at least a little bit of fear of we don't have a third catcher, you don't want to push your luck, you don't want to blah, blah, blah. Because you can't, the switch isn't really a thing that you can switch, DH and catcher. Doesn't matter. They brought up Sandy Leon is going to stick around. Fairchild goes down and, okay, nobody's really, I hate to say it, except the Fairchild family, this is not changing the fate of the Atlanta Braves. The fate of the Braves was this weekend when they went 1-2, and it felt like they went 1-6. Like, that's how I took it, especially after winning Friday. This did not feel like a 3-game series in terms of a 1-2 record. Do you not feel last night when it was all done that it was much worse than going 1-2 over 3 games?
I just felt like it was time to just admit that this season is over after what happened Saturday night. That's when I threw in the towel.
So your hope, that might have been a glimmer. Let's just call it a thread of hope. It went away Saturday night with the way that game ended.
Yeah, regardless of what would have happened yesterday, Saturday night, you score, 9 runs, and the bullpen implodes again?
That was a 5-inning implosion. They did something nobody had ever done. 12 runs, 4 homers, a grand slam, 5 walks. They dove for the record books. Do you know that? That's a true story. No bullpen had ever had that happen to them ever. Ever. It was historically bad bullpen-wise for the Atlanta Braves to the point where they found a list of things. 5 innings, 12 runs, 4 homers, a grand slam, at least 4 walks. That was all done in a 5-inning or basically stretch where a bullpen did something no bullpen in the history of the game had done.
Who was it that faced 4 or 5 batters that didn't get anybody out?
Was that Lee that night? I don't know. It's all starting to run together. Bummer caught the crap end of one as well. Look, at the end of the day, I'm going to give you $150 million to fix the Braves. Do you think, now they have guys in a contract. It's not $150 million in payroll. It's $150 million that you go, you got to fix this team. Do you think you could fix the Braves? Because I'm going to give you another number that I gave last week. There was a moment that your left fielder, center fielder, shortstop, and second baseman had 20 total home runs. Now, the good news is Ozzie went crazy. The good news is Michael Harris hit one. So we're now past 20. I threw Marcell Ozuna's 13 in, and we were on average 5 places in your lineup, on average, less than 6 home runs. That's impossible as the calendar is getting ready to turn to August.
2 years ago, you tied a major league record with 307 home runs. How did it come to this?
Well, there's probably a lot of factors.
Just one of them freak things.
Yeah, and then maybe it was a freak thing. Maybe the ball's just not as tanked up as it used to be. I don't know. Do you know, though, when I gave that number last week, it was 33 home runs from 5 places in your lineup. My guess is that's not happening anywhere else in baseball. For a team that was supposed to be a contender to win the World Series, it's even worse. So if I ask you to split up the money, you have 2 big bangs that you can go get. What are you going to do this offseason? What are you going to do? Because let's just say, can I set up a scenario for you? You believe that Chris Sale is going to be back. You believe that Schwellenbach is going to be back. You believe that what? Spencer Strider, this is better than what he's, it's edging towards we're going to be fine with him. So what do you have? You got 3 starters? You like Grant Holmes enough where you go, no, you have 4?
Yeah, and what happens with Reynaldo Lopez?
Don't give me that. He's got a shoulder. I ain't banking on him. No how, no way.
You don't even bring him out this year, do you?
No. I'm asking, if you think you have 10, you have 3. You can name Waldrop, and you can start giving me all the name. Bring back Mike Soroka. Maybe Bryce Elder will figure it out. Are you buying a starting pitcher at the rates that starting pitching goes for?
Yes.
Yes or no? So you want some of that money to be divided into a starting pitcher?
Correct.
You want it to be a frontline 1 or 2? Or are you going to try to go a little bit cheaper and buy the back end?
It depends what other moves I am allowed to make in this little game.
So give me the move that you want to make.
We're going to have to find another full-time designated hitter.
Okay. That's going to cost you a lot of money if you really want one.
Okay, so that's going to determine what kind of pitcher I'm going to go after because of the 3 guys you mentioned before who I feel really good about.
You see what the owner of the Philadelphia Phillies said about Kyle Schwarber?
What did he say?
Man, we love him. You see what Bryce Harper said this weekend? Whew, that's our guy. He's the guy. He's the heartbeat of this team. The greatest person in the world to really like you is the owner of a baseball team.
Did you see what Philly fans were asking Mike Trout last week? When are you coming home to Philadelphia?
Well, here's the scenario I laid out. What if you could actually induce Kyle Schwarber to go away? What if during the All-Star break he saw this and he said, this could be pretty fun, and they're going to give me $100 million. I think Philadelphia would match them. Then I think you're out of business. But if Kyle Schwarber goes away, here's what I'm asking the Angels, because Mike Trout's owed $37 million for like 4 more years. How much are you eating? I'd bring Mike Trout back and just let him be a DH in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you look
but
at
I'm
his,
not paying any of the money.
Yeah,
the Angels are paying the freight.
You look at his slash line as a DH, which he's been essentially since he came back from injury at the end of May, versus his slash line in right field. It's night and day.
But he can't be a $37 million player. Here's what I'm actually going to ask the Angels to eat. They're going to have to eat. I won't do a deal unless you eat it. Of the $37 million, I'm going to buy the $15 million player. You're going to eat $22 million every year that he's owed. You can bring Mike Trout back to Philadelphia. Now, will it be a great reunion? I don't know. Will he be able to hold up for another 4 years plus? I don't know. Would you spend $100 million, 25 a year on Kyle Schwarber?
I would say yes.
And then what will you do with Sean Murphy and Drake Baldwin? Because I'm not playing the DH thing with either one of them then. I'm not splitting them at catcher either.
I think you would trade Murphy.
Okay. All right. So that's, again, this is part of the plan. I think there are 7 things that you have to do to fix the Braves for 2026. I don't think there's one thing. I don't think there's 2 things. I don't think there's 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 things. I think there's probably about 7 moves you have to make. What are you going to do about a closer?
Well, what am I going to do about the bullpen as a whole?
No, give me the closer first, though. If I'm a contending team,
I'm trading
I need a closer.
Iglesias at the deadline, right?
He ain't around anyway next year. What am I doing at the closer? Am I going to go spend closer money? Am I going to spend what it costs to get Josh Hader or Aroldis Chapman over the last few years? I'm asking, would you spend that $10 million a year for a closer?
Not if I spend $25 million on Schwarber.
Whoa. Okay. See, I think a couple of things have to go hand in hand. I think if you're going to go in, you got to go all in. That's why I gave you $150 million, which is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I'm surprised you would say if I go in on Schwarber. I think if I go in on Schwarber, I better get a closer and a starting pitcher. Then the second base thing. Then the shortstop thing. Is Profar okay? Is Michael Harris okay? I mean, anybody that thinks this is a quick fix, you're wrong. Now, could you run it back and have everybody get healthy? Have everybody be closer to the back of the baseball card? Maybe. Michael Harris hit a home run. Everybody's excited. That's great. He was like 5 for 15. I'm not telling you that's not better than it was. I always thought the problem with Michael Harris this year was at 21 years old, they saw him hit 19 home runs. What do you think people thought he was going to hit at 22?
Before the season, I said he had the potential to be a 30-30 man.
Okay. I'm asking you. He came up at 21 years old. He hit 19 home runs. What do you think the inclination is to do with a guy like that?
Keep him around.
Have him be a player that you think hits 25 or more at 22 years old. Then he hits 30 at 23. Do you know his home run totals have gone down? Now, he missed a bunch of time, but his home run totals have gone down. I thought the problem with Michael Harris, the offensive player, is they thought, let's let him play bombs away, pull the ball. I think he's a foul pole to foul pole guy. And the minute he stopped being that, the minute you thought we've got a 30 home run guy, out goes the offense. Then he gets to fishing, speaking of, and he's all over the place, swinging at pitches he shouldn't swing at, and he's still trying to pull balls that are impossible to pull. I'm not telling you it was an easy fix. This is what I would have sat him down with. You're no longer a power hitter. You're strong enough, young enough, you'll hit home runs. You don't need to pull the ball. You are taking away whatever skill set you had to be a better hitter. 293, 270-something, down to where it is now. I'm asking you, do you think it was hit 19 at 21 years old? We've got a 30 home run guy because you just said before this year you thought he was 30-30.
Well, we had a bunch of, I just said 2 years ago, 307 home runs as a team. Everybody was hitting bombs.
He didn't hit 20.
It's contagious.
He didn't hit 20. There was a fallacy with him being a 30 home run guy. It was a fallacy.
Let me run it back to Schwarber.
He's a good enough athlete if he's swinging at the right pitches to drive the ball the other way, to drive like he did the other way, a home run to center field. He's got to stop thinking about pulling the baseball.
Let me run it back to Schwarber v. paying closer money for a closer.
Go ahead. I'm not doing one without the other. I'm going all in. I need both. I'll spend the money on it.
Who are you spending the money on first? Closer?
No, Schwarber. I need a DH. I'd like to put that to bed. Unfortunately, once I heard the owner say, we love Kyle Schwarber. The owner. That's what the owner said. I have a feeling that means that, oh, that's nice. Go ahead, make him an offer.
Do you feel like this team, based on the changes we've outlined so far, is going to be in a position to win enough games where paying that kind of money for a closer is going to make sense.
Well, it's the only reason you pay for a closer. Mason Miller in Oakland, they don't need him. I would trade him. You know what the A's just said? No, we're not trading him at the trade deadline. Maybe the offseason. That's a chip they have. They got a guy named Nick Kurtz. You know what he does? He hits home runs. He's going to hit more home runs than 5 guys on our team combined. That's what he's going to do as a rookie. So they've got a guy who's paying a dividend. We don't have. Who's the guy that's paying a dividend around here? Who's playing above their contract? I'm really asking. Anybody? Just tell me who on this team is playing above their contract. Is Grant Holmes maybe pitching above his contract? Yes. Who else? Matt Olson isn't playing above his contract. That's a fallacy. Drake Baldwin's a great answer because Drake Baldwin, to me, the expectation was, oh, wait, I think he's ready. He's 24 years old. But, yeah, winning Rookie of the Year or being in contention for Rookie of the Year, that means you're playing above your contract. Drake Baldwin's another answer.
Yeah, but can you truly say that when someone's playing for what? Scale, right?
Yeah, better be that guy you say it about. If you're not saying it about those guys and they're playing every day.
I'm talking about the guys that signed extensions that have big contracts that have established their careers. Your point is absolutely right.
We don't have enough guys exceeding their contract. And I'm glad somebody said Ronald Acuna. That's a really interesting one. But everybody knew he was more talented than his contract. I don't think he's playing above his contract. I think he's playing to a talent level that we go, oh, wait, we got lucky that that's only his contract. And I agree, he's playing above it. But I think the expectation was we always knew he was going to play above it because the contract's set up that way.
Is Acuna untouchable here?
I mean, we went through this. Yeah, I think he is. I think he is. And I'm not telling you he shouldn't be. I'm not saying you should be looking to trade Ronald Acuna. The problem is going to be in another year, if he doesn't have an extension, people are going to start to go, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now, would you offer him an extension? Would you take some of that 150 and just say, let's put an extension on Ronald? Might be the way to do it. Or, with 2 bad knees, would you blame the front office for waiting at least another year? Because I wouldn't. But I'm telling you, there are people that say, oh, you're going to insult him if you don't give him a contract extension.
Is Ronald Acuna's value at the trade deadline any greater than it will be this year?
You can't do this. Because, again, I don't know if the Juan Soto deal is the one I'm supposed to look at, and I don't know. I'm assuming the Juan Soto deal, the trade. Washington's got some good young players in that deal. Could you strike lightning like that? I don't think so. I'll run it out even for the next 3 seasons. If Ronald doesn't want to re-sign here, maybe I know it, and maybe it becomes like the Ohtani thing, that I do trade him when I know he's not going to sign. I'd wait another year to offer the extension. I want to find health.
Let me throw this out there.
It's not his talent.
Let me throw this out there. He had a couple late-game defensive gems on Friday and Saturday. Yesterday, he executed the 360 spin and saved a run at the plate. Does Nacho have increased value right now? Somebody's looking for a third baseman. We're not.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, sure, you're trying to convince me that he's a play. He's hitting 220. With all due respect, anybody who tells me, look what this guy is, that is a hope.
So it sounds like you're telling me there's not a lot of cards that the Braves have to play outside of Iglesias and Ozuna.
You want Pierce Johnson
at this deadline?
You want Pierce Johnson?
How did it get to this?
Kind of. It's a 2026 thing. I'd like to get a piece in my minors, because that's what you're going to get for any of those guys. You're going to get a piece in your minors that you hope is as good, if not better, than somebody you have at that position in the minors. That's all you're getting for these guys. It's 2026. It stinks, but going 1-2 this weekend, you said it was your reality check.
Now, when you gave me this $150 million to spend, are you doing so expecting the moves I make are going to have this team contending next year?
This team is supposed to contend next year. They're supposed to contend.
How confident are you of that right now?
You only have to win 88 games. If I can't win 88 games, and again, I'm not a Pollyanna. I'm not saying that you're not entitled to have a bad year, that you can't go to the postseason. You're not owed that. But I better be able to put together an 88-win team that's built around Austin Riley, that's built around Ronald Acuna, that's built around Chris Sale, that's built around Matt Olson. I better be able to win 88 games. I should find 88 wins.
This team is, once again, equaled the low water mark of 12 games under 500.
And Everybody, there's only 3 other teams in baseball that have not had a longer winning streak than their 4-game winning streak. I looked at that list. It was disheartening. It's everybody except the casuals that should not be on that list. Everybody in baseball has had more than a 4-game winning streak. Every Johnny-come-lately, every not going to be in the playoffs, except for, right, Colorado, the White Sox.
Pittsburgh.
Us. No, Pittsburgh has. Pittsburgh's had a longer winning streak than we had. Yeah. It's just, it's a bad year. It's time for 2026. Do I think it's going to cost $150 million? I do. I'm not telling you that's a scientific number. I think it's going to cost $150 million in investments to get the Braves where they're supposed to be. That is at a minimum winning 88 games, but I'm supposed to be shooting higher than that.
Story in the Wall Street Journal this week. They have a losing record, but every team in Major League Baseball wants to copy them. And what they want to copy is the business model. The Atlanta Braves are in the real estate business.
Okay.
Do you think Liberty Media is going to loosen the purse strings
I don't know
with
what
all
that
this
means.
increased cash flow over here?
Maybe they're supposed to, maybe they're not. They're business people. I'm not in the room. I would like to be able to go into the room for 5 minutes and say, here's what I think it's going to cost. Are you guys in or not? Now, we've heard there's no constrictions. They get what they want. Okay, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I need to go into the room for 5 minutes to see the look in their eye and say, here's what I think it's going to take. This is not an easy fix. We can't run it back. We can't run it back. That's not a thing because that's not a team that's built to win a World Series. I got to get to 88 wins. I need money to be better than that. That's all. And I think in that room, I don't know if they would tell me, get the hell out of here, or if they would nod their heads and go, yes, yes. And then they would ask me to leave and they'd laugh at me when I left. But this is not going to be cheap. To fix the Braves is not going to be cheap.
Is Nick going to be back next year?
No, I don't think so.
They go in-house or out of the house?
I don't know about that. I think Walt Weiss certainly gets a look. I think Skip Schumacher gets a look. I've been talking about Mark DeRosa for 5 years. I don't know if that's a thing or not. Chipper Jones made it clear he ain't managing. If you wanted that, he'd like to be the assistant general manager. He's on record as saying that. I wouldn't mind that at all. Not at all. But I don't think this is a $50 million fix. I don't think you get to plug holes and think that you're a World Series contender. And I will say this. Like when I say 88 wins, that is the lowest of the low bar. The lowest of the low bar. That's just getting me in. Once you're there, you can surprise people, but I can't play another year with what it is we're watching.
Yeah, the lowest number that's gotten the last wild card spot in the National League is 84. The average is 88.
Yeah, it's 88 wins.
Now, on the evening of November 2nd, 2021, had you told me what I envisioned for those Atlanta Braves, and I didn't know Freddie Freeman was going to leave, but I thought this franchise was set up to compete for championships for the next 5 to 7 years.
I heard 8.
We're not even going to make 5.
No. I heard 8 years. 8 years. And then, no, you're not owed that. That's a ridiculously long time. It's like the Scotty Scheffler thing. Stop telling me you know what he's going to do in his next 32 majors. That's 8 years. Next 40 majors. That's 10 years. I didn't think the Braves were built for that. I did think they were better than this. I'm just telling you, this is my opinion. I don't think this is a cheap fix. I don't think this is a cheap fix.
No, it's going to require at least a partial teardown of what you're trotting out there in a starting 9 every day, not to mention adding a starting pitcher and the bullpen.
I don't even know if it's a teardown. I kind of look at it as I've got real holes. Like a teardown to me is who goes? Who wants what you have?
Isn't that part of I've got holes?
No,
someone's got to go.
A teardown to me means that that some of the players who are here are going away.
Right.
Who has value that you would actually send away?
Sean Murphy.
And he might have more value to me than a lot of other people. But I do think Drake Baldwin, if you're going to make him the everyday catcher, trade Sean Murphy and go buy a DH.
And again, I like Sean Murphy.
A DH.
I wish I wasn't having this discussion, but what do we have to offer right now?
You make Drake Baldwin your left fielder. Again, if you want me, I can start moving. I've tried everybody in left field. Nobody wants to bite. I've moved Austin Riley to left field. And by the way, Nacho Alvarez, please, let's just slow down. It's nice. He made a nice play on a line drive. There's nothing about him that says this guy's ready to hit major league pitching. Now, I'm not blaming him for that. But the idea that you've seen him for 5 games and you go, oh, look at that, he caught a line drive. Let me tell you, you're supposed to catch line drives. You're a third baseman in Major League Baseball.
You're saying he made plays 3 games in a row that turned my head. Saved a run, but then Holmes hits the next guy, and they score in.
Damn it.
That's how this season has gone.